Today we're gonna try HAUS LABS products. I actually have been eyeing this brand for a long time, but I just didn't know if this brand was just popular for a little time and then nobody talks about them type of brand, or is it kind of brand that stand the test of time, which I guess this brand did because it launched. I mean, the first launch is like kind of weird that they launch on Amazon and nobody talks about them. And once they did their rebranding and launched the foundation, I think people have been talking about their products all the time. It definitely wasn't just like a one-time viral thing and they just vanished from that. So that's why I now decided to try their product, taking the chance of Black Friday. And I got their very famous TRICLONE Skin Tag Foundation. Like, of course, if you're gonna try this brand, I guess this is the thing that you're gonna try, right? Then I got a blush, the Color Fuse blush. It's the matte one. I was going to get the powder highlight, but there wasn't a shade that I wanted. I mean, I kind of wanted the white one, the silver one, but that one is sold out, and also I feel like I don't use highlight that much anymore, so that buying a highlight probably doesn't really make sense. And also I bought high power pigment paint. I guess this is a multi-usage kind of stuff, like you can use on your lips, your cheeks, and your eyes. And today we're gonna try on all eye, cheeks, and lips. So sorry, I just ate my brunch. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. Also, my nail is chipping a little bit, so don't mind that. And this is nail polish from Romand. This is not something that I purchased. This is a gift with purchase. I don't know why this brand really loves to give nail polish as their gift with purchase. I had one the last time. The first time I purchased from them, and then this time they sent this color, which I thought was cute. And it is the 5th day and they started shipping. The first 4 days they were perfect, and the 5th day they chipped a little bit, and I like this color. I really like this color. Okay, enough of talking. Let's apply the foundation. Out of this box you have this like super heavy bottle, which I think this is like super well made because they are in the like luxury kind of price tag. I kind of expect their packaging to be good, but the thing is this cap is like very thin, flimsy, and cheap. I don't like this cap, but whatever, it's just a cap as long as it doesn't break. I have the shade Light Cool. Most people have mentioned this, but the cool and warm in this brand is opposite as the other brand. So if you want to buy golden or olive shades, you are in the cool side. And if you want to buy like the pinky, reddish, or peach undertones, you are on the warm side, which I guess makes sense because yellow and olive are considered a cool color, right? Like outside of skin tone, it considered on the cooler side of the color, and the peachy, red, and pinks are considered the warm colors. So I guess in that sense, the name does make sense. But it doesn't really make sense in the, you know, the foundation, what we were used to. I looked at a lot of people's swatch and watched a lot of videos on YouTube. It seems the color is a little darker, so I didn't get the light medium shade because I thought that's probably a true medium shade that will be a little too dark for me. Shake well before use. It's pretty liquidy. Feels like a serum kind of texture, like a skincare serum. I think the shade is pretty on point for me. The 190 shade. I am light medium olive skin tone. Gonna use a little puff, and I feel foundation has oxidized a little bit here. So I guess definitely don't get a shade that's too dark for your skin. Maybe get like a shade lighter. It's so quiet here. I feel weird. I normally don't apply foundation on my nose because I don't know, I hate foundation on my nose, but I'm just gonna have a little bit, a tiny bit there. And I also I don't really like foundation on my forehead either, so I only like, it's not just about this foundation, but every foundation I just apply on this region, which is a little bit red. And also now that I have fringe, you can't see that area anyways, and applying too much product will make my fringe oily super fast. So now I applied a very thin layer. It's like about half a pound, and I think it has pretty good coverage. I have seen somebody say that this is a full coverage. I don't know about that. For me, it is more of a light medium coverage. It's definitely not full coverage, but it's definitely not like a skin tint type of coverage. It's giving a similar finish as the SUQQU liquid foundation. As of now, I really like this foundation. The finish is really pretty. It's really skin-like, you can see. I don't think this adds any shine than my like skincare. It doesn't make my skin like even more glowy. Okay, I just applied to my whole face. Let me bring you a little closer. It's looking pretty nice. Like if I told you that I didn't wear foundation, and if you didn't know how my skin looks bare, like actually bare, you probably will trust me that I didn't wear any foundation, right? It's really looking so natural. You can't see foundation on my face. That's actually one thing that I have heard from people, that this look extremely natural and good when you initially apply on your face. And then for the wear part, like how this foundation wears, I think people's opinion split a little bit. Some people say that it breaks up in quite a short period of time, but the other people also didn't say this one lasts super long. So I guess the real test is, does this foundation last on your skin? The high power pigment paint, the shade name is Blush Matte. It actually feels like a gel. When I squeeze this out, it feels like a thinner texture than I thought it would be. Oh, it is a very cute color. Why do I not see any color? Oh wait, this is so natural. It's like I almost can't really see the color. Okay, I have to take a glob of product on my brush. I thought it was gonna be those super scary and pigmented, you have to be super careful, but this is not. I don't know how I feel about this color. Like, it doesn't look bad, of course, but this color is low-key looking like my natural cheek color. So I just feel like, for me, this really feels like I just covered my natural flush with foundation, then I applied it back with this blush. For somebody, they might like that kind of concept, but for me, I want it to be a different color. I don't think this blush disturbed my foundation, which is a good thing. The product I apply on my hand has dried down. So I guess this can be a good eyeliner formula, because it, or like eyeshadow formula, because it does dry down pretty nicely. And I think this foundation looks pretty good setting with powder. I just set with some pressed powder. Yeah, nothing much to say. Looking pretty nice. And for this blush, the powder blush, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. Collecting my fingerprint like no other, so I don't know how I feel like about that. I have the shade Pomelo Peach, which is the most boring color that they have. But everybody was talking about the whatever pomegranate or watermelon, like the crazy colors, the magenta pinky colors or like the red color. But as much as I want that type of color, for this many times of declutter that I have done, I just know if I buy that, I probably wouldn't reach for that much. It would just be going into my declutter pile, so what's the point? I might as well just buy a boring color that I will actually use. There's 11 grams of product here. So even though this is expensive, at least they give you a lot of product. I don't know who is gonna finish a 11-gram blush, so I do hope maybe they can have like a mini one. Nobody needs a 11-gram blush, and it's feeling pretty smooth, but not something that like super special or anything. It's looking pretty similar to this color, but a little bit more bright. I just gently tapped my brush and there's so many kick off, so keep that in mind. I thought this would be a pretty densely packed, but I guess it's not. Why is this kind of patchy here? That's so weird. I don't remember the last time some blush looking patchy on me. Let me try to fix this. It refused to blend. Like right now, I don't think it is blended. I just add more color around it, so it looks like it's blending better, but I think that patch is still there. And also applying to the cheeks, maybe it's because of my olive skin tone. It's looking way more like a pink than a peach. I think this side is looking more like it's still like in the pink side, but it's at least looking like a peach. But see, this side, I think it just looks like pink. I think I might have to try this one more. Let me add more to this side and see how it looks. I don't really understand the hype with this blush. I just feel like this is a normal blush. It doesn't even apply better than other blush. Like the foundation, I can understand it's truly like looking very, very beautiful. It's super natural, like skin-like. Doesn't look like foundation at all, at least on my skin. But the blush, I don't know. I don't know why it's so viral. Maybe because of the crazy colors. Maybe the crazy colors perform better than the one I have. But yeah, I just don't understand what's the hype here. Is any one of you try the super crazy colors and have relatively skin tone on the like lighter side, maybe around like light to medium, the range? What do you think about those colors? Do you think those colors actually suitable for lighter skin tone and still manageable to use on a daily basis, or do you think it's gonna be like a hassle to use because you have to be super careful? Do you feel like there's any blending issues that I had with this cheek? Right now, I don't know about this blush, and this blush, even though it has 11 grams, I feel like it's pretty expensive. It's like 40 something dollars, right? Close to 40. Now for eyes. Let me have a little bit more. I want to apply with my fingers, at least on this side, because I feel like for cream eyeshadow formulas, I prefer to apply with my finger. It's already set right now. Like it won't move and blend further. So I guess if you are going to use this formula on your eye, maybe go one eye at a time like I am doing right now. Oh, I actually really like this color on my eyeballs, better than on my cheeks for some reason. It's really looking like a really pretty like springy, is that a word? Like a spring color. It's a very fresh type of color. I like this, and it sets pretty quick, so I think this might last long, I don't know, or lash eye. I like it on the eyes. If I ever shop at them again, I probably will repurchase, or like not repurchase but purchase another shade. I have seen somebody use their like the super shimmery glittery ones, and those look pretty. I didn't buy those because I just want to try this as a multi-purpose product. Because if I buy those shades, I wouldn't be using that on the cheeks, right? We are done with the eyes. Still, pretty much loving this color on my eyes. And I also feel like my eyeliner draws a little bit different than it usually does. I wonder, does this affect the wear of the eyeliner, because this eyeliner doesn't wear too long, like on my eyes, because my eyes is kind of watery, and this is probably not a waterproof eyeliner. But this eyeshadow feels very waterproof, so I wonder, does this improve the wear of my eyeliner? I will update you on that as well. Now this cheek, maybe because I'm layering 2 blushes, this color is actually growing on me. Now this has been a little bit longer. I feel like the patchiness of the blush kind of looks better in a way, even though this little patch is still there. Maybe it's like the way that I set my foundation, but I set my foundation the same way every day, and other blushes don't do this. So yeah, I guess there's still something to do with the formula that I don't know. Okay, now the last thing. Let's apply this little thing on our lips. Oh yeah, it's gonna be concealer lips. But the coverage is so good though. Oh my god, my teeth look so yellow. Well, despite the color, the formula is actually super nice. It actually just feels like a liquid lipstick that's super smooth, and I don't think this is like very drying on my lips. Yeah, it doesn't feel dry, and for a concealer lips color, it's actually on the better side, you know, in that range. They are all gonna look awful on my lips, but yeah, this color is not the worst out of all of them. So I guess I actually really like this formula. Is this waterproof? I feel like it is, and I think it is, right? I remember there is a little video on their website that they are flashing water on the swatches of these, and they're rubbing it and it's not coming off. So I guess that means this is waterproof, and it feels like it's pretty long wearing. Pretty much my lips now feels like there's nothing on it. Let me try to remove this. Like for now, it's none of this is gonna move. Like yeah, I don't even get that much color. Like all of this is from applying on my eyelids. It's already there, but this part gets no color by rubbing, right? And this is still here, so I guess it's super long wearing. Ooh. I mean, I guess there's like a tiny bit here, but you see it's not rubbing off that much. Like I'm really trying. It's just a little bit is coming off. I guess it's from rubbing, not because of the water. So I guess this is really waterproof. Let's try micellar water. Oh, this is taking it off. That means it is waterproof, and it's easy to remove with just micellar water. Now I see this for like a couple minutes on my lips. I kind of like, don't want to say it's growing on me, but I don't hate it as much. I guess if I put like another like darker lip liner and use a lip gloss, this can be working, but I don't see the point of doing that. So it's not thick at all, and it dries, I think, just enough for you to blend on one eye. Don't put it on both eyes and blend it, but you know, just one side, blend it. It's enough time, just enough time. I like this. And on the lips, it's not drying at all. I don't feel like it's drying. See a little bit oil coming through on this region, which we only applied about like not even 30 minutes. So if you are like oily, like a very oily skin tone, if you have like a very oily skin, I don't think this is gonna be a foundation that will help you with the oil situation. Other than that, it's still looking the same. Okay, it's about 7 hours later, and I thought I would do an update on the wear of all the stuff. My eyeshadow creased a little bit. I don't know if you can, I think you can tell a little bit there, right? like in the fold area there's like some creasing happening, which isn't new for me at all because my eyelids are so oily. I rarely see anything like survive from my eyelids oil, so that's not very surprising for me. For the foundation, I want to say it gets super oily just on this region, which is kind of weird because when I get oily, it's like whole this zone, including this area, getting oily, but today it's only maybe a little bit this region as well, but only this part getting like super oily. I don't know why that is, but because other foundation is either not getting as oily or it's getting oily on all these areas. I don't know why this foundation is only oily here. So that's weird, but let's blot this a little bit. And there's not much coming off. Yeah, and blotting it, it basically just looks almost perfectly fine. But I did notice that there's a little bit of foundation settling into my pores happening in this region that you can't see because the lighting is not as good as when it's in the daytime, but I can see it in this region is happening, which a lot of foundation does this, but SUQQU foundation don't do that. So for me, this foundation in that sense it's just not as good as my SUQQU cream foundation. Throughout the day, maybe like 2 hours of wear, like starting from then, it's starting to look a little bit heavier. It still is not a heavy foundation, but it starts to separate a little bit, so it doesn't look like completely like skin anymore. I think when I initially applied this completely looked like skin. And from like 1 or 2 hours, it just looks starting to like a little bit like foundation. Again, it's not like super heavy or anything. It's just comparing to itself, it's a little bit heavier. But comparing to an actual heavy foundation that looks makeup-y, it's still on natural side, if that makes sense. At this point, I want to say the most statement on the internet is true, that it truly looks just like your skin. It's so natural. It has light medium coverage. It's not super glowy, but it's also not matte. It's just a natural finish and natural coverage. But again, like somebody said, this is not a super long wearing foundation, at least for me, like 1 day wear. Even blot it a little bit during the day, but still this area, the area around my nose got pretty oily. And it does break up a little bit, like super, if you weren't like looking super closely, you wouldn't be able to see, but I can see that. So yeah, like I said, most statements on the internet are true about this foundation. I really don't know how I feel about the blush, because this blush, I'm not talking about this one, I'm talking about this blush. This blush faded pretty quickly. And I actually even replied a little bit on my cheek. I think in real life, you can see I still have blush on this side, maybe a little bit on camera as well. But I think that's mainly from this, because I applied this underneath the powder first, and then I powdered my whole face, and then I applied this on top, right? And I just noticed that the blush is fading a lot. Like this side almost look like there's not that much foundation on top, and this side has more blush, so it's definitely this one. And I even replied a little bit of this blush during the day using my fingers, okay? Like just lightly dab on this area. But now this side is looking like there's barely left on my skin. So I don't know about this formula. The color is fine. The same price range, I would rather buy SUQQU, I would rather buy Laura Mercier, and also you can buy Dior, and you can also buy Pomelo. That's all in the same range, like price wise. I just don't get the hype about this blush. Maybe the other shades are different. let me know. And this thing, I actually really like this one. I like to use this on my eyelids and on the cheek, even though the color wasn't my favorite, but it lasts very long. Like all this blush is just this. It's not the powder. Actually right now, the color is growing on me. It's looking a little bit peachier than I first applied it. And even though on the lips it's not my type of color, I do think the formula itself works on the lips as well because it's super comfortable. It's just the color. The color is not for the lips. Overall, I still would say this is a successful purchase. I think I would try this powder with the other foundations in case it's because this foundation didn't wear that great on the skin that causes this one to fade, which I don't think that's the case though, because the foundation didn't fade. It's just looking a little bit heavier after like a couple hours of wear. I'll keep you updated. And thank you for watching. Definitely share your thoughts about this brand and the product you tried if you have tried any. And thank you for watching. Bye.